And look at Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete. The two of them go flying through the right-hand side, then the left-hand side. Jochen Hahn around the outside, and Lucas Hahn, no father and son, come together on the exit of turn one.
And the best thing about this is the fact that it's still a 15-minute sprint race. They've not extended the time of the race. It's still just like, it's going to be, 7 laps of Spa-Francorchamps?
Yeah. We get to the real nitty-gritty of motorsport. Cranston and Smith are side by side for the title in the very final race of the season. As they go back up the hill towards the Schumacher S. Nils Kor clips the back at 10. Simon Povey clips the side of Nils Kor. They go over the hill and Povey's around. Oh my god, that's going to definitely be the thumbnail, isn't it? Hit me in the right direction. Thank you so much.
23 cars.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to round number 6 of the Formula CDM European Series, here from one of my very favourite circuits in the world. It is the Hungaroring in Hungary, just outside of Budapest. This circuit is an absolute treat, but it's also, apparently, according to the drivers, an absolute nightmare as well. It's going to be an interesting night of racing all the same. I'm Chaz Draycott, delighted to be joined in the commentary box for the first time this season by Dara Thacker. Dara will be joining us until the end of the season. Dara, welcome, mate. Great to be back in the box with you. How have you been, and how are you feeling about tonight?
I've been well. It's been a little while. It's been a couple of months since we were together, but yeah, looking forward to this. This looks like it's going to be a great race, and as you said, the Hungaroring, great circuit, particularly in these cars as well. I think the smaller that you get in terms of your machine around this circuit, the better the racing can be. You know, the bigger the car, you're more limited to turn 1, turn 2, and maybe it's end at turn 12. But in these, you can really send it anywhere. So yeah, it should be a great evening's worth of racing, and at an important point of the season as well. If you're looking for the championship or you're looking to work your way up the order, you've got to do it now because time really is running out.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those circuits that really does spice things up really close to the end of the season. As you can see, today is the 12th of November. We are at the Hungaroring. We've been to some wonderful circuits so far this season, but I think the last 3 are absolute classic gems on any sort of Grand Prix fan calendar. We are here at the Hungaroring before we head to the Red Bull Ring next week, and then Imola to round out the season, which will be a mighty spicy finale, Dara. That is going to be a track that really catches out the very best of drivers at a pivotal moment, isn't it?
Yeah, we're kind of getting more famous as we work down the list, aren't we, really, in terms of circuits? Start at Navarra, Manicourt, Zolder, less used circuits, then we end at Hungaroring, Red Bull Ring and Imola. You're kind of working your way up the pecking order. But yeah, I mean, 3 very different circuits, aren't they, really, to round out the season? Red Bull Ring is completely different to the Hungaroring and Imola, so I think drivers that are pinning their hopes on that may be focusing on that, or have an eye on that going into next week. But I think if you're stronger at the Hungaroring, you're more likely to be stronger at Imola as well, so that could be an important one to watch.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly a time to be versatile in the championship. Speaking of said championship, this is how it stands coming here to the Hungaroring. Now, I need to hold my hands up a little bit here, and there is a drop score included in the rules and regs, but Chaz is a massive moron and hasn't realised for this long that the column that calculates them hasn't been applying it to the overall spreadsheet. So I massively apologise for that. These are the scores before the drop scores, and it is the namesakes at the top, Aaron and Fraser Smith, no relation, 2 points apart, with Lee Aberdeen and Kevin Zemstra just 3 points apart. Sam Fitzpatrick and Matt Hoyland absolutely tied on points. It's nice and close throughout the field. There's always somebody to fight, but except in the Teams Championship, as you can see, Dara, Blade Speed Esports running away with it now, and it seems like they're going to have this under their belts before too long.
Yeah, I mean, DNA, they're there, but they're not really close. So they are clearly second, but they're going to have to put in a good performance tonight. But you never really know, do you? This could go either way. Hungaroring, again, a circuit where if you have an incident in the early couple of laps, you can find it very difficult to find your way back through. It is easier in these cars, obviously, but it is still a tricky circuit to get the moves done. It's not a case of just sending it up the inside. You really have to work for it. So, yeah, going to be interesting. But if some of those gaps that we see on the left-hand side are going to be replicated, then we could see a relatively strung out grid in the first few laps.
We absolutely could, and obviously the one-shot qualifying puts a lot of pressure on the drivers for tonight as well. They need to have their wits about them. We've got Kyo Tiago Marteau back with... Oh, God, what's Sam done there? We've got Kyo Tiago Marteau back with us tonight as well, Williams eSports driver, racing for Kilita Motorsport, and he is going to be certainly one to watch. He made his debut at his home race at Zandvoort just a few weeks ago, nearly became the first driver to win both races on the night. Nobody has managed to do that yet. But I tell you, he was certainly close to doing it. We're going to have qualifying now, which is just going to get underway. Drivers will be making their way down towards the end of the pit lane. Michael Jones is going to be one of the first drivers out, but he needs to wait about a minute before he heads out. We should get Victor Oliveira out there in just a moment. He's in the Dragonfly competition car. He should be the first one out on circuit. We do post the times for everybody. It's going to be Victor Oliveira first, then Michael Jones, and then it would have been Chris Humphries. Chris, unfortunately, has backed out of the series. But this is our first opportunity here, Dara, to see the circuit and see how the car behaves around here, because you and I both know this is a nightmare little machine to try and get right, and what a circuit to try and master it at as well. So much undulation here.
Yeah, it is, and tricky to control that rear end. You can see that with Oliveira there. You can just see that rear end starting to step out a little bit as you work your way through turn 2. And again, downhill slightly, you're right about the elevation. It can cause a little bit of unsettledness in the car. Through 4, goodness me, that's a little bit, that's quite wide from Victor. That's not, it's not the line to take.
No, it's one of the most understeery Formula cars you will ever see as well, by the way. It's understeer on the way in, oversteer in bucketfuls on the way out.
You watch an F1 car go through there and think it's going to be easy, and then you go through it in one of these and think, whoa.
Yeah.
Even through there, cars just not turning in, and particularly through this middle sector where you're continually putting steering lock onto the car just to try and rotate it through some of these corners. It is so difficult to make sure you put on the right amount of steering lock. Very easy to understeer the car. Equally easy if you're panicking after that to oversteer the car through some of these corners. So it is so tricky to find that right balance. And I mean, we could see drivers gaining, seconds through that middle sector compared to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the pivotal parts of the lap for sure. So I'm intrigued to see who survives around there, really. It's painful in any racing game I've ever played, any racing sim I've ever been on. That particular part of the track is nightmare fuel. Round the final corner they go. The drivers have been told to behave themselves around here, so they can take a bit of a wider line, obviously, to get the run, but they're not going to be going off the circuit completely to get a run, as we've seen in other series in the past. Victor Oliveira then across the line for Dragonfly as he runs down towards turn 1. The other car on circuit is Michael Jones for Team Verde. He and his teammate Simon Price hoping to get some more points on the board before the end of the season. They've not had the easiest of championships so far, but they make their way round now. Next car out should be Connor Hatfield, I believe. Rob Lundgren, there's a big gap actually, because Humphries, Lundgren and Brandet are not here. It'll then be Simon Price actually, who is Michael Jones' teammate, next out onto the circuit. But here is Oliveira up towards turn 4, and again you can see the back end of the car just not behaving itself, Dara. It's almost like it's disconnected from the front.
Yeah, and there's not a big distance, is there? These are small cars, but it does feel like there's a big disconnect in terms of what you're feeling in the steering and really what you're getting.
Oh, no!
Deliverance on the power, and that's exactly what I was talking about. You can turn the car in and then immediately spin the wheels up. And that's Victor's session over, really, and he will start likely at the back of the field. He may be gone by a couple of others if they make mistakes, but that is not what you needed to do. We'll see it here.
Yeah, a bit of a nightmare that. It just bobbled that little bit over the curb. It's just that left rear gets upset by the curb there. And that's all it takes to break the traction of the car, and that's all it takes to break the suspension as well. And as you can see, the wheel tether doing its little thing there and doing its little dance. Michael Jones makes it through that particular corner without drama. Love this little green car. I must admit, when I was doing the liveries for these cars, I did enjoy making each of them, but I really do love the Team Verde car. It's one of the newest ones that has come to the pack, so to speak. And it's got that sort of Castrol look about it with the green, the white and the red text. But Ed and I had the sudden realisation last week, and it blew our minds. Do you ever remember the Octane brand with Lego? Like the fake oil company that they made?
Yes.
It reminded us of that. I couldn't get it out of my head once I saw it. Not the right shade of green, but just the whole aesthetic is just, Octane.
Yeah, my dad loves Lego. He's collected it forever. We have so much of that in our house, in drawers. Insane amounts. And I completely see what you mean. And genuinely, when I was little, I thought the Octane was the fuel that was in Cars 2, or the alternative fuel in Cars 2.
Oh, that's brilliant. Instead of all,
and it was only like the third rewatch of it that I realised what it was. It's all in all, yeah.
Yes, it is all in all, yeah.
It's the similar colours, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's fantastic, though. That's a good reference, to be fair. I should have put all in all on some of these and then watched them blow up. We're on board with Riccardo Rossi, which, to be fair, is quite hilarious because Simon's lid that he wore for Formula 1 in the Rosset colours has it written in the way, I think on one side it's got it written how it was rearranged during the 1998 Formula 1 World Championship by some of his engineers. Apparently he used to have a scooter in the paddock with Rosset written on it, and the engineers were so annoyed at him for not scoring points and making them fix the car so often that they changed the way round that the letters were, and there's only one way you can imagine that it went. It described it very well. But Simon, he's not channeling his inner Rosset right now. He's looking really tidy here. A bit wide of that apex, but gets away with it. Looks great coming over the hill. They're very square little cars, these, aren't they? They look like Formula 4s in a way, just a little bit more spicy.
Yeah. If you can get spicy than a Formula 4.
That's true.
But it's impressive. It just shows how difficult these cars really are, doesn't it, really? To really control. This is Michael. He can't go again, can he? Oh, no. This is Simon Price, sorry.
Yes.
I'm getting confused by the cars being the same colour. Simon then out of the final corner. It looks like he's going to go faster by a distance. Is he? Yeah, just a few tenths of a second, but he's quicker in all three sectors. Oh, actually, no, a lot more. That lied to me. It said a 44 flaps, a 42.9. And that is a second and a half already that he's got on Jones. And I think we're going to see a few more gaps like that to keep us waiting.
Yeah, we will, absolutely. It's great to see this format working well, though. Danny Weir, the next car up in car 55. His team has, funnily enough, always had cars 5 and 55, and Alex's drop score is 5 points for this season so far. There's been a very strange theme with that. Danny goes across the line, second place for him, 0.6 of a second off the top spot, and he now rolls it down. There's a purple sector on the board for the next driver who will cross the line, though, Connor Hatfield for Spontex CDM Esports.
Let's see then. A couple of corners left to go for Connor. Purple middle sector, and again, that's really the part of the track where you're going to gain or lose really most of the time. So a purple sector through there is critical. A little bit wide through the final corner. Did he wash out too far? Let's see. That time, don't believe it, of a 44.9. Where does he go? On the left-hand side, when the timing tower updates, it is going to be... Was it invalidated?
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, must have been the final corner, that.
Yeah, maybe so. That'll be devastating.
Yeah. So late in the lap.
Yeah, especially, that's the worst thing as well. I did a lot of driving on Gran Turismo today for GT Planet, and they have a really annoying thing where if you invalidate your lap during the time trial in the final sector, it automatically invalidates the next lap just in case you gained an advantage or a run-up of some kind. And it was doing my head in because it was a really long lap, like 2.5 minutes. Philip Miles goes second fastest. Good stuff from him. Next around, though, is going to be Jack Werrell. Jack is definitely further down in the championship order than his pace would allow. He's just had a bit of an unlucky season, missed a couple of rounds as well at the start of the campaign. So the shiny but also matte Derrington Francis machine sideways out the final corner, really pushing it here, Dara. 3 purple sectors.
And you'd think that's going to go to the top. There we go. 42 flat for Jack, and again, good marker to put down for the rest to follow. And yeah, price, 9/10 off. A lot of time for a couple of drivers to slot into. Stuart Clark, however, has gone fastest in that middle sector again. Is that going to be helpful? A little bit of a moment through turn 13 as he gets on the inside curve. It's so difficult to get towards these curves because they can very easily spin you around. Nice power deliverance through that final corner. This looks fast for Stuart Clark in that final sector. Purple once again. Oh, but not quick enough.
Wow.
That first sector wasn't quick enough to be made up for in the second and third, and he is 200ths away.
Wow, incredible stuff. Very, very close then between those top two. Werrell will have had a little bead of sweat there, knowing that there was going to be that purple sector. Martin Kenyon running a little bit deep there as he heads around the final corner. A bit of opposite lock on the exit. Oh, was that wide enough to invalidate the lap? Not quite sure. I don't think it was. No, it was not. He goes third quickest for Flaxen Sport. And we've got the return of his teammate Sam Fitzpatrick tonight, reigning Formula 1 world champion. And we're excited to see how Sam gets on. Here is David Whitehouse. Thiago Marteau, by the way, on his outlap has done purple sectors. Yeah. He's absolutely on a mission, bless him. He's certainly putting it to bed as, David has decided to come into the pits here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, not quite sure why that is. David has called it quits on his lap, which is a big, big shame. We'll go back to the next car, which is John Tusting in one of the gorgeous Mirage sport machines. The Spanish team going well with Kevin Zemstra up the standings. But yeah, that was quite the moment there, Dara.
Yeah, turn 12 is never a fun place to try and put the power down because the exit curb, if you just touch it ever so slightly, it can be a lot slipperier than it first looks. Through the final corner, he comes in, so much rotation has to be put. I mean, you're turning the wheel for, a good 7-8 seconds, which is a very, very long time. John Tusting, he's got 3 green sectors, not going to be quick enough for the top. He4 is where he goes, behind Martin Kenyon. And Werrell and Clark getting better and better as the session goes on, of course, with the fact that, as we know, the later you set the lap time, the further up you're on in the championship, so the longer you can stay at the top, the better it is going to be for your aspirations. Grassetto, the Italian driver, the only Italian driver on the grid through the final corner, where can he put himself?
Hopefully on the grid somewhere rather than off at the final corner. He goes fastest, 0.8 of a second. Wow, no purple sectors because Thiago Marteau is the one setting them, but that has gone under the radar, that one. Fabio Grassetto straight to the top, and this definitely doesn't go under the radar, this car, the Coletta Motorsport machine, with Thiago Marteau sending best regards to his teammate Rob Lundgren, who has still got a leg injury at the moment and unable to race with us. Keo goes to the top by 1.1 seconds. Wow, dearie me. Thiago Marteau does an amazing job, but at the end of the day, he's a Williams eSports driver. He's only done 1 race meeting with us so far this season. That's why he is so far into the session before he puts a lap in. But that's a benchmark on a benchmark, that one, Dara.
Yeah, I mean, 1.1 seconds with more than half the times on the board. That's quite something. Let's see Ben Shalcraft. Let's see what he can do. I mean, it's not going fast. This is where it's going to be difficult to tell, really.
Yeah.
He's going to go P3. It's all going to come up as green because, surely, unless someone can beat Marteau, but it means that we're not really going to be able to sense if they're going to be towards the top or not because it's just going to come up as green. That could mean 10th, that could mean 2nd. There's no way of telling.
That's the exciting bit.
Well, exactly. Who is this coming through?
This is Alex Fretwell next up.
Fretwell, I was sitting there looking at the bottom of the screen thinking, well, it's not Hoyland, it's not Fitzpatrick and Grassetto to the lap times. It can't be any of them. But yeah, Fretwell, he's come through turn 11. He's done that nicely. Can be easy to lose a rear end there as well.
Definitely. We've not got Lennart Schneebel with us tonight, unfortunately. The German driver unable to make it here for tonight, so Jack Reeve of Cross Development will have no teammate for this one. Tidy stuff that by Fretwell. A little flick of the steering here and there. You're allowed to go over the dotted white line without going outside of track limits. They all do this, don't they? They sort of go to the middle of the circuit on the way into the final corner to straighten up the exit. Goes for the line, does Fretwell. And the EMKA car goes up to nowhere. Not a valid time.
I can see that he went ever so slightly wide as we joined him at 7. I don't know whether that would have pinged it, but I think he went wide there. That could be a problem for him as he made his way through, but we'll have to wait and see. Jack Reeve coming through the final corner now in that very much noticeable cross-development entry up towards the line. I think he just about kept it on that white line. To the line he comes. Where does he go? This looks relatively fast. There it is, P3. That is relatively, well, comparatively to the rest, but he's still 1.8 seconds off the rest of the field.
That's terrifying. Terrifying stuff. Hoyland Matt Hoyland has been having a wonderful season. If you ask him, every time we ask him about how he is, he's been amazingly surprised at how well his season has been going. He's had a really, really good vibe about it. He hated Zolder, but we don't talk about Zolder. He's currently across the line to go up to second place, 1.165, just ahead of his teammate Fabio Grassetto. So the Wave Racing Tech drivers right near each other. And now, well, we're getting, with no offence to anyone else, we're into the really big names now, because Sam Fitzpatrick, reigning Formula 1 world champion, wanting to try and uphold some honour here this season. He's missed a round, but due to the drop scores, he's still in the fight.
It's also a shame that Marteau didn't get a couple of hundredths faster, because he'd be the only driver from the 1 minute 39s or the 1 minute 40s at this stage. We'll see how long that lasts, though, because you'd think Sean Fitzpatrick's going to challenge that. That looks fast. Let's see where he puts himself. There we go, within a second. First driver within a second of Marteau, but he's still 3/4 of a second off. Zemstra, no purple sectors for him. Can he get any closer? We've only got one corner to find out.
Yeah, Kevin Zemstra has been having a bit of a topsy-turvy season himself as well. We saw a lot of sportsmanship from him at Manicourt when there was contact with another car. He took himself out of the race as a result to say, you keep hold of that. Across the line goes Zemstra, third place for him. Not bad at all. 0.8 of a second off, but he's ahead of Hoyland and Grassetto, the two Wave Racing Tech cars. He'll be really chuffed with that. We don't have Fraser Smith here tonight, by the way. He's missing this round, and Aaron Smith is going to miss the Red Bull Ring, so that's going to be their drop scores. Both of them, I think, have drop scores of about 20 points. They've got a ridiculously high score from each of the rounds so far. But this is Lee Aberdeen. He was the fastest in pre-season testing, won the pre-season race. He was also fastest in pre-season testing in Formula 1 as well, but he's had a bit of bad luck. He's had a penalty and incidents here and there. He's had a 0 score completely back at Zolder. Can he get near the front? 2 thousandths off Sam Fitzpatrick there, Dara. That's as close as you can get, really.
Well, it is, but he's still 742 thousandths away from Marteau, isn't he? That's the kind of gaps we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, when you're finding realistically, as they are at this point in the session, over second, that's so it's going to be heartbreaking, really, for him to be that close to another position higher up on the grid. I was going to mention as well, with that final corner line that they've been taking, I wonder if that's obviously advantageous in the race, but it's not a long run up to the line, so how much time are you going to gain kind of on the exit in comparison to just keeping a really tight line? I wonder if that would make a difference, but we're probably talking, something in the thousands, but it could have made a difference between the likes of Fitzpatrick and Aberdeen. But either way, they're still close near the top of the timesheets. Am I right in saying this is our final driver, isn't it?
Yes.
To lap time in the session. And there's no purple sector yet, so Marteau's going to be sitting pretty, I think, at the moment. But where could this go? Between Fitzpatrick and Aberdeen, he'd be impressed.
Hey, I tell you what, if he does, I'll give him a championship point. Like, that would be absolutely epic if Aaron can do that. Look at the car controller out the final corner, just gliding this machine around. Across the line he goes. No, he goes behind the two of them, so championship leader ends up 4th on the grid for this one. And with no disrespect to anybody else on track there, it is no surprise that we have Thiago Marteau, the Dutchman, on pole position for Kalita Motorsport. These guys can at least race safely knowing that he's no threat to their championship standings. He was, I'm going to blow so much smoke up his backside. You'll see him like one of the red arrows from miles away, but Thiago Marteau was so professional in everything he did about approaching the series, and he was, he couldn't do enough, bless him, to make sure that he had the numbers right, the wheels right, he had the livery set, he knew the format. He was just, as soon as he got the call up to come in, he was absolutely all over it, and he's been so enthusiastic about it the whole time, and it's lovely to see that, because you often see with drivers that are right at the top of this game, they lack a bit of that character sometimes, don't they? They're a little bit flat, and it's nothing's good enough for him. But Keo's been amazing, absolutely amazing. But same with Aaron Smith. Aaron is an absolute star in the Formula 3 cars here on iRacing, and he's taken on this PM18 with great gusto. He leads the championship, but 4th place in this first race of the night won't be ideal for him. We'll see how he gets on, though, trying to overtake the others as the session comes to a close.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting off the start, particularly in the opening race, just to see how how Marteau goes. Obviously, getting away is going to be the priority, and if he does, then I think it's going to be difficult for anyone to catch him. But if he gets overtaken early on by Fitzpatrick or Aberdeen, then we could have a bit of race in our hands.
Absolutely. Thiago Marteau on pole position then. reigning Formula 1 world champion Sam Fitzpatrick alongside him. Lee Aberdeen and Aaron Smith, very exciting row 2. Kevin Zemstra lines up alongside Matt Hoyland, with Fabio Grassetto, his teammate, just behind him. Jack Reeve is next up in 8th place. Ben Chalcraft will be starting in 9th, with Jack Werrell in 10th, exactly 2 seconds off. Stuart Clark is 11th, with Martin Kenyon in 12th position. Then we have John Tusting and Simon Price on the 7th row. Philip Miles will then line up alongside Danny Weir, with Michael Jones and David Whitehouse on the 9th row. Alex Fretwell, Connor Hatfield and Victor Oliveira all failed to set valid lap times. So we've got 4 drivers coming through from the back of the order there, actually, Dara, that could make a difference here from all this way back.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it's their Vettel, isn't it? Really, in the car. I mean, that helmet. That's the Joker car that he's going to play. It turns out that he's not driving; it's Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah, didn't Daniel Abt get banned for that in the Formula E? Esports or something. Unreal.
Yes, he did.
Here we go then.
He got from the team for it.
Oh God, yeah, it was a massive fallout. Here we go then. Lights coming on, and round number 6, the sprint race. So round number 6 of the Formula CDM European Series gets underway. A good start at the back from Connor Hatfield. David Whitehouse going nowhere. Aaron Smith all the way over on the left-hand side gets in front of Sam Fitzpatrick. Immediately up to 2nd place from 4th on the grid. Sam moves back over to the left to try and cover off that line. Lee Aberdeen's in there as well, trying to get around the outside. I think Jack Reeve just got into the back of Matt Hoyland, but they got away with it as they exit now down towards turn 2. Another real pinch point. Fitzpatrick trying to defend from the cars behind him. Very tidy start to this race, though. They all know how difficult it is around these first few corners here, Dara. But at the moment, it's Thiago Marteau that holds on to that race lead, and he's ahead of Aaron Smith. What a great start by Smith.
Yeah, great start from Fretwell as well towards the back, up 5 places in the first sector alone. Bad start though for Kevin Zemstra. He's recovered 1 spot, but he's down 3 into 8, so he's going to be looking to come back through. Lost out to Jack Reeve, Grassetto and Hoyland, all of them jumping up 1 position in the order. But it was a great start, wasn't it, from Aaron Smith to get to that inside line. Well, I mean, he was just avoiding the cars in front really with that much overspeed, but he's going well, as is Alex Fretwell. Another position gain up to P13 now, now up to P12. I mean, he's flying through the order. He had 18 cars to overtake if he wanted to win the race. He's already got past 7.
Chalcraft's got damage. Chalcraft has a meatball flag. There is something gone wrong in the middle sector here for Ben Chalcraft. He's at the front of this train, but I think he might have had a hit from behind from one car, and that has unfortunately damaged the rear suspension. We found out this season that these cars do have suspension made of bread, so it's unfortunate that it's affected Ben. We've got Kenyon fighting back with Fretwell here. Stuart Clark now around the outside of him. Everybody fighting together, but something has happened to Ben Chalcraft, and unfortunately he has to come into the pits at the end of the first lap of the race. But it's Thiago Marteau leading the way. There's a massive train of them down to 9th place where Werrell is, and then, well, a humongous gap back to Fretwell in 10th.
Yeah, bigger between 9th and 10th than it is between 1st and 9th.
Yeah.
But Fretwell started 19th and he's in the top 10 by the time he gets to turn 1 again. So, incredible start from him. Contact. Oh, that'll send them both around. Clark down there, and I think it's Kenyon as well. Both of them coming a cropper from that, promoting Price. We're Tusting as well as they go side by side towards turn 2. They're just sliding it, aren't they, on the brakes? And if you're on the outside line, you see a car going deep, it's panic stations. Because, as you said, these suspensions lead. That's a turn across. Martin Kenyon, he's not used his mirrors, and you wouldn't pass a driving test with that kind of eyesight.
Whoa, flipping heck, Stuart Clark, I tell you what, I'm glad he's got some eyesight. But yeah, that was a big shame, that was, because it was definitely Stuart. He was on the inside. I will have a look at the replay. Stuart gets to the inside line. I think he gets it stopped on the apex, but I think Martin just comes across as if he ain't there. I mean, Stuart's not going that wide, and Martin just bounces off the side pod, but unfortunately for Stuart, I mean, he styles it out nicely there, doesn't he? Fair play, Sunshine. It sounded like there was a bit more drama, though. I think, who's that on the inside? There was contact further back between Victor Oliveira and Michael Jones, I think, but then Kenyon just, again, twice in a couple of corners. Not sure if he knew the other car was there, but it certainly didn't look like it, did it?
No. Maybe he needs a bigger monitor just to get the wheels from the side. I don't know. No, I should stop. But yeah, Marteau at the front of the field. He's already, Kenyon, I should say, with that black and orange flag, means he'll have to come into the pit lane and fix that. Chalcraft had to do that lap 1 and is suffering at the back as a consequence. This is what happened to Ben Chalcraft. Triggered that meatball flag. Let's see, up in towards turn 6 and 7 as he lost some. Whoa, that's Mark Kenyon again.
Oh, he's not had a good start to the race, has he, Monsieur Kenyon?
He's not. I think the stewards are going to be hearing about him today.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not going to say. He put a report in at Hockenheim, and we had to have a word with him and say, Martin, you can't protest this, mate. Like, stop it. So he's quite friendly with the stewards already, unfortunately, but for probably the strangest reason. We're already nearly 5 minutes through this sprint race, Dara. We're nearly a third of the way through it. Can you believe that?
These kinds of races where you kind of you can go side by side in every single corner. Time evaporates. If you're at a circuit where you've got about 2 overtaking spots and you have to sit and wait around the rest of that for those to happen, those races take forever. But these, when you just have endless amounts of information to talk about, they fly by.
They really do.
And we're seeing a lot of racing at the moment. We aren't seeing too much in the way of battling at the front though, which is a little bit disappointing. But you never know, we could see it spark up towards the end. Don't really want to throw away a race like this in the early 5 minutes, albeit you've only got 10 more minutes to do anything. But you want to make sure that you're in the fight for the final 5 to go. Fitzpatrick's not that far off the back of Smith. Could definitely make a sense somewhere if he wanted to. Yeah,
definitely. He's now up into third place, is Sam. Down into third place, actually, because Aaron made that brilliant start. Fastest lap of the race goes in from Thiago Marteau, the only driver on the circuit not to have any slipstream. That's terrifying, but it just shows you just how quick he is. He was really respectful in his way forward at Zandvoort as well, it must be said, but Sam, just before that, had the fastest lap of the race. Sam, as ever, on the limit, as we always see him. But we've got this great battle with the Wave Racing Tech cars. Grosseto ahead of Hoyland, Jack Reeve, and then Kevin Zemstra scrapping away. 10th place is all important as well. We've got Fretwell there at the moment, and that is reverse grid pole position. So I tell you, if Fretwell gets that, he's played the game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly has. Let's see, up towards turn 4.
Sorry, my bad.
Back at turn 2. Philip Miles just about going to lose out to Danny Weir as they go through turn 3 now. They've got Hatfield just off the back, and then a bit of a gap back to Whitehouse, kind of on his own in E16. But yeah, those gaps have really opened out, haven't they, in the last 5 minutes or so. Alex Fretwell on his own is 3.5, or nearly 4, just under 3 seconds behind Jack Werrell. And yet 4 seconds ahead of John Tusting, so very much in no man's land. And there's very few drivers within half a second at the moment. The Danny Weir, or a little battle further back, Danny Weir, Miles, Hatfield's close, then this battle, Hoyland and Reeve right behind Grosseto, and they've also got Zemstra joining him at the rear as well, so keep an eye on them towards the end of the race. Zemstra again still in here after starting in P5, biggest loser in terms of positions inside the top 17 at the moment from the start.
Ouch. Ouch indeed. It's a shame when the start doesn't quite go your way. I'd like to see that start again from Aaron Smith, to be fair, but we're not going to. We're going to look at Victor Oliveira, who has had, unfortunately, a drama with Stuart Clark here. We'll go on board with Stuart, and oh, dearie me. Yeah, that's... Oh, no. Oh, he nearly got there. Oh, dear, Stuart. Oh, he's had a bit of a rough race, hasn't he, Stuart? He's got another meatball flag as a result of that. And now he has to come back to the pits. Now, we're just about to get to halfway through this race, and Aaron Smith, championship leader, is now under pressure from Sam Fitzpatrick. Sam was saying that he was a little bit more inspired earlier on, knowing that the drop scores will now apply, now that Chaz has realised he's a massive idiot. But I tell you, he's certainly fired up to try and have a go at Aaron here. He didn't have a very lively start to the season, did Sam, considering that he wanted to defend the honour of his Formula 1 World Championship, but he's come alive now, and this is what we love to see from Sam. He's feisty.
Yeah, and for Adam as well, for Aaron Smith at the front of this train, if he starts looking in his mirrors, then he could, almost back Sam Fitzpatrick up almost inadvertently in towards Lee Aberdeen. So we could have a 3-car battle very quickly, as we're already seeing forming for P2 here. Marteau, well, he disappeared, he's up the road, there's 7 minutes to go. I think we'll have, a lap at 1 minute 40, so 4 laps to go it'll be once they complete this one. So time is starting to tick away, but as we've said, in these cars you can really overtake anywhere, so you're not really limited to turn 1 and turn 2. So lots of chances for Fitzpatrick. And he's getting closer, isn't he? He's only a couple of minutes behind from that final corner.
Yeah, he's really, really closing in. And you can see Aaron is now moving around. He's got the idea that he's under pressure now. He knows what the score is. He knows he's not going to be looking forward to fight with Thiago Marteau. Aaron tries to defend the inside line. Sam goes all the way around the outside. That might open it up to Lee Aberdeen, though. Ooh, Sam was close there, but look, Lee is in the picture just as quick as that. Now, is he going to go for it straight away? Is he going to look down the inside for a move? No, Sam is going to look down the inside of Aaron. There's contact between the two. Deary me, I think Sam actually did that more in defence over Lee, but it ended up being a sort of attempt at an overtaking move. They both got lucky that there's no sort of wheel damage or suspension damage. But goodness me, that's a scary moment to have, especially there at turn 2, because you've got to carry on turning at the end of the day.
Yeah, you can't stop it, and if you do, that's going to be a nice marriage with the barrier, isn't it? So you've got to be careful. You can just see how close Fitzpatrick is now getting to the back of Aaron Smith, and how he deals with this is really going to be important. If you can just weather the storm, I think, of the next couple of laps, then Fitzpatrick may have to start worrying about Lee Aberdeen behind him more than making the move himself. But if Fitzpatrick can even just stick a wheel up the inside, get in the mirrors of Aaron Smith, then I think this could be a bit of a different story. And mind you, Grossetto's only a second and a half, if that, off the back of this group now, and he is closing. So don't count out the Italian in this fight with what will be 3 laps to go. Oh, a bit of a snap as they made their way through turn 12. And yes, there will be just about 3 laps to go, because 3 laps takes 5 minutes at 1 minute 40, and I think we're just about going to get that in with Marteau at the front. Depends how fast he goes at this pace.
Yeah, they're absolutely flying, aren't they? And I mean, these guys are fast enough, but there's the race leader. The cameraman falls over, and yeah, Thiago Marteau, I mean, he's just away, absolutely away from the pack at the moment. These 3 are all sort of fighting each other, but they're remaining close at the minute. Fabio Grossetto's not out of the picture either. He wants that 5th place. Matt Hoyland is having to try and hold on to his position with the 2 red cars of Cross Development's Jack Reeve and Mirage Sports' Kevin Zemstra in the picture. They'll be happy with the fact that they're going to remain inside the top 10, I'm sure. But yeah, they're going to be near the front of the grid for race 2. Is that really what they want, though, or do they want the points now?
Well, I think the important question isn't really how hard you're willing to push. Oh, goodness me, for a couple of extra points, especially considering that you're going to have to get reset again for race number 2. That was close, wasn't it, in towards turn 5. You can almost see them coming together and allowing Lee Aberdeen to walk through. But yeah, the more time that they spend quabbling? That's not a word.
I think it is. Squabbling.
Is that a word? Yeah, I was going to say
squabbling. Yeah, squabbling.
Or
quarrelling.
Yeah, there you go.
In a quarrel.
Quabbling.
Quabbling. Yeah, that's the sort of middle ground.
I'm going to trademark that. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. Monetize it. Yeah, if they one or the other, pick one. I'm wrong with it. If they can keep it going, then I think Grossetto may have a chance, because he's only now just about a second off the back here. And then you've got Zemstra and Reeve chasing down Hoyland. This is to the inside. Oh, the rear end. Goodness me.
What a save.
Shows you how difficult it is just to control the rear end if you're going for a send like that final corner. That's bold. Careful of the suspension as well.
Wow, Sam Fitzpatrick down the inside of Aaron Smith. This is getting feisty now. Lee Aberdeen, is he going to box Aaron in here? Aaron's not going to have anywhere to go. He still goes over to the left-hand side. Now he sits in the middle of the road. Can't come all the way over because Lee's there. Sam's on the compromise line down the inside. Aaron tries to get it lit up on the exit. What a great run that is. But we'll have to look back and see how Sam got that done once this is resolved. Oh, careful, boys. There's no need for it. I told Aaron about this last week. Doesn't have to happen. Sam's run a little bit wide. Aaron doesn't want to give him the room down the inside. They're still side by side as they go through the right. That's not going to work, surely. Wheel to wheel through turn 3. Incredible stuff. Lee Aberdeen is still in this, and somehow, I mean, I bet he's gritting his teeth. Flipping heck.
Yeah, let's see. In towards turn 5 we go. Is there an outside line that's going to work? Not quite. As they work their way in towards the chicane at 6 and 7. There's now 4 cars firmly in this battle as we run our way in towards the chicane outside line. That's really bold, and having to cut across. Oh, are they all going to avoid just about? Smith's got a slowdown penalty from that as well. Can Aberdeen take advantage of it? No, he's stuck behind in this. Careful.
He doesn't need to serve it mid-corner. I don't like that. He doesn't need to serve it mid-corner.
Haven't they?
Yeah, they're gonna lose Sam here, but Aaron knows what he should have done there. He should have moved out of the way on the straight and gotten that out of the way. He served it, but I don't know. Lee wasn't to know that he had that, and he served it mid-corner, and it just checked it up in front of Lee. That could have been an incident all in itself, but it all got a little bit lively there, didn't it, to say the least. We'll have a little look back at what Sam did originally to get through on Aaron. So this was earlier, actually. This was the lap before, so apologies. Let's go to this one. No, this was as it changed once again. Goodness me, so they've had a few here. No, this was, yeah, oh no. Was that the one? God, look how close they were there with the wings. So this is the run that he had earlier. What? Because, yeah, Sam got in front. It didn't actually class Sam as overtaking him earlier, which is really weird. Is that going to go to the right thing? No, this is Connor Hatfield getting past Danny Weir, who is now unfortunately out of the race. Sorry. We will get back to the battle in a moment. But it was before that, wasn't it? So that's really weird. Ooh. It was scary.
Yes.
It was very, very scary. We'll watch this again, though. We'll see how it unfolded, because, I mean, Aaron tried to force the issue into the chicane where it was never going to happen. Oh, that is so close. They're rubbing the tyre lettering off. And then they go up through here, and Aaron gets out of shape up through turn 4, look. The car is away from him. Big save. And at this point, it's almost like retaliation. He's right up behind Sam. Sam gets a little wiggle, defends the inside. He sends Aaron that way round. Aaron goes wide into it. And Sam just understeers, unfortunately. But then, this is the bit I didn't like. Because Aaron knows he's got to serve that. And Lee was on the throttle sooner than him. And, yeah, he's not to know he got to slow down. I mean, you'd maybe expect it a bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just whinging. I do that a lot. Thiago Marteau has won the race. It's actually already over. Thiago Marteau wins. Sam Fitzpatrick second ahead of Aaron Smith in third. Lee Aberdeen next up ahead of Fabio Grassetto. Matt Hoyland next up ahead of Jack Reeve. Kevin Zemstra and Jack Werrell with Alex Fretwell just 3/10 behind him. Alex will now take pole position for the second race of the night. Simon Price about to round the final corner in 12th position, just ahead of Philip Miles. And through they go, weaving across the line. Simon clearly pleased with that. But Thiago Marteau, well, he'll be over the moon there, won't he, with that one, Dara? That was a hell of a drive away from the front.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really see him, did we? Because he was just that dominant from the start of the race. He was able to pull away. The difficulty for him now would be to have to pick his way through some cars in the second race. Alex Fretwell, on the opening lap of the race, gained 9 positions. On the last 8 laps of the race, he gave none. And yet in race when he started 19th, and in race he was going to start first. It's really the tale of 2 races for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Great recovery by Alex Fretwell after invalidating the earlier qualifying lap. He's the biggest mover in the field by some margin, by more than double anybody else. David Whitehouse moved up 4 places from the back of the grid. He finished just in front of Ben Chalcraft. Not a bad recovery that by Ben, actually, to finish in 15th place after the start that he had and the incident on the first lap. Let's have a look then at the results, if they will work. Thiago Marteau takes his second win of the season. Sam Fitzpatrick finishes ahead of Aaron Smith after a lively race between the two of them. Lee Aberdeen finishes in 4th position. Fabio Grassetto in 5th. Hoyland was 6th with Jack Reeve in 7th. Then it was Kevin Zemstra, Jack Werrell and Alex Fretwell that complete the top 10 and, of course, the top point scorers. John Tusting 11th, ahead of Simon Price with Philip Miles in 13th. Then it was David Whitehouse 14th, Ben Chalcraft in 15th position. Michael Jones was 16th. Stuart Clark and Danny Weir were next up. And then we had Connor Hatfield and Victor Oliveira a lap down. Martin Kenyon was 2 laps down by the end. Just going to quickly do some championship calculations, see whether we can import the points that they had from that one, and we will get them up on your screen in just a sec. This is how it should look now. Don't forget there's drop scores to add to this. So with Fraser Smith not being here tonight, he's obviously going to lose out points to Aaron, but his drop score will kick in and so on. So Aaron has 170 points to the 159 to Fraser. Sam Fitzpatrick now moves ahead of Kevin Zemstra and Matt Hoyland with that one. A really solid race for him. Thiago Marteau obviously moving up the order, and Grassetto recovering as well to now have 45 points. Leonard Schneebel not here tonight. Ben Chalcraft not having a great race there. He's lost 2 places this time round. But your first taste of Formula CDM, Dara, what did you make of that blistering little sprint race?
Well, it's fast-paced, isn't it? There's no doubt about that. You can't really knock them for for going at it lap after lap, but it just goes to show how tricky some of these cars can be to control. And if you're going side by side into a corner and you drift slightly wide and you're wheel to wheel, someone's suspension's breaking, aren't they? And that's a problem for everyone behind. And when you're so tightly packed at the start, as we will see once again shortly, that's going to be a bit of an issue. But yeah, it's good to see, I think, that you can get these little cars into such good racing conditions, because it's nice that we get this kind of racing. I do, God love a GT3, but I do a hell of a lot of GT3 commentary, and you know where a GT3 can make a move, and you don't, and you know exactly where it can't. Here in these cars, there's kind of no limits, no boundaries, and so you're able to almost in the race experiment with your racecraft and see what works and what doesn't work, which you can't necessarily do in bigger, fatter cars. So it's always nice to get on one of these.
Very true indeed. Very true. Well, we're going to be back in just a few moments, everybody. Dara and I will be covering the feature race in just a few minutes' time. But while the warm-up's on, we're just going to take a quick break, get a drink and reset, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Don't go away. Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott and Dara Thacker here for the Formula CDM European Series. We're live from the Hungaroring for the 6th round of the championship, and we've just seen this man, Thiago Marteau, take a sprint race victory. Dara, we had quite a lot of action, oh my god, going on similar to this, actually, with Martin Kenyon. He's not had the best of times, has he, so far tonight? And it seems like warm-up is no different.
No, not at all. If you can get out of the way now, that's ideal, but... well...
it is funny.
It's warm-up, so we really can laugh, but that's shocking, isn't it, really?
It just flew through the air. I mean, Victor was very slow on the apex, in fairness to Martin, but it was just the way it disappeared into the sky. That was quite remarkable. Jack Reeve is throwing the car around. He had quite a good first race of the night. David Whitehouse, unfortunately, had to start from the back of the grid. He's just doing some burnouts now to enjoy himself, but he gained a few places. Second biggest mover in the field in that last one. I think Chalcraft is going to be the one that's hoping for a better race this time, isn't he? After having that suspension damage in the opening lap, he was thrown right to the back of the order, so he'll definitely want more.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. And yeah, getting a good start is going to be crucial. I mean, again, we saw it from Fretwell, didn't we? In race 1, he got those 9 positions on the opening lap and couldn't go any further, but he was able to pick his way through some of those difficult opening corners. So if you can do that, you can really benefit yourself throughout the rest of the race. And of course, this being a longer race means that there's going to be more chance to work your way through an order as the session goes on. There's not long left of warm-up, and then we can get into the race to get those answers. But yeah, I think standing start as well, it's a relatively long run towards turn 1 comparatively to what we've had at other tracks so far this season. So yeah, we saw lots happen 4 wide, 5 wide towards turn 1 on race 1. I think it's going to happen again.
Yeah, most likely will. We'll have to wait and see. It goes quiet for a minute. It's quite nice. Let's have a look at the grid then very quickly. We've got Alex Fretwell and Jack Werrell on the front row of the grid, Kevin Zemstra and Jack Reeve on row 2. Then it's Matt Hoyland and Fabio Grassetto with Lee Aberdeen alongside Aaron Smith. Sam Fitzpatrick will start on the 5th row alongside Thiago Marteau. Then the rest of the grid will be the finishing order from race 1. A couple of drivers will be hoping to make their way through from the back after having a DNF in that first race of the night. Martin Kenyon will be hoping for a much cleaner race. He'll be hoping that he's got all of his dramas out of the way here, but an interesting front row here, Dara. Fretwell and Werrell both pretty quick.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think this is going to be important on the start. Really interested to see as well how Marteau does off the launch. He hasn't been challenged all race long and hasn't had to worry about anybody else. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep up that pace whilst fighting his way through.
Absolutely. Everybody is now on the grid, so we should get gridding up and ready to go with the lights. They are on our screen. And the 40-minute feature race here at the Hungaroring in round number 6 of the Formula CDM European Series is go. And Alex Fretwell gets a pretty level start. Werrell goes nowhere. Big bit of oversteer from the rears. He's lost 6 places before he's even gotten down to turn 1. Looking down the inside is Aaron Smith and Fabio Grassetto. 3 wide in the middle there. Is that going to work? Maybe. Nearly a bit of contact there between Aaron Smith and Lee Aberdeen on the inside line. Good respect shown from those behind them, though. It's Hoyland and Reeve side by side for second place. Hoyland's got a bit deep, manages to get it down the inside, but contact between the two of them means that he gets through, but that's not the way he wanted to do that. 3 wide in the background as well, becomes 2 wide as they get to the apex. Thiago Marteau just in front of Aaron Smith, now side by side up towards turn 4, Dara.
Yeah, and they're right behind Zemstra as well, who has another difficult start. He's down 3 places where he was down 4 in race number 1. Clearly can't get those tyres off the line very quickly, and he has to build his way back through with arguably 2 of the fastest 3 drivers on the grid right behind him. In towards 6 and 7 they go for the first time. No one making a big dive to the inside. They know that they've got 39 more minutes. I mean, realistically, we're looking at some quick maths, Darren. Well, lots of laps. I'll work it out in a minute. Lots of laps to go in this race. Lots of chances to make these moves. But yeah, Marteau having to find a way through early. Not doing anything too big just yet. Is there a send coming into 12?
I don't know. To be fair, with how Keo was at Zandvoort, he was very patient in making his way forward in the pack. You know, he knows he's got the pace to be quicker than people without the slipstream. He's proved that in qualifying. He proved it in race 1. I think that he knows that, and in a bigger picture race like this, he's got a long old time to try and figure out a strategy. Now the drivers aren't... Oh, I was going to say, Jack, you've got to give him room at some point. Grassetto right alongside him, just a bit of a kiss, and Reeve has got a slowdown penalty, so he's going to suddenly go over to the right, I think. No, he's going to stay in front of Grassetto, then he's going to serve the slowdown, maybe on the way into the corner. Grassetto goes up into third place, round the outside. Thiago Marteau trying it on Aaron Smith as well. Goodness me, Grassetto's actually gone deep into turn one. Reeves now trying it back on him. He'll feel that Grassetto was the one that wronged him there, but I don't think he was. Lee Aberdeen is stuck in the middle of this. This is a difficult place to be, isn't it, really? Right in the thick here. Driver right behind you, driver right in front of you. Can't do anything right here.
Yeah, it's so difficult to judge some of these, braking points and acceleration points, because the car behind you is figuring it out in the same way as you, and just the slightest mistake can either send you into the car in front, could mean that the car behind slides right into the back of you. So it is so tricky to get right lap after lap, especially corner after corner, in these tighter Mickey Mouse sections of the racetrack, when you're through 6 and 7, and then into 8 and 9 and 10, those long sweeping corners that we're entering now. Aberdeen has got a bit of a gap back to Zemstra, so maybe can start to go after Jack Reeve a little bit more in the final sector, but we really are talking about fine margins here.
Yeah, really tiny margins. I was going to say that the drivers aren't allowed to pit until the end of lap 8, so nothing silly in terms of, people pitting on lap 1 and then trying to go to the end. The cars are limited to 75% of their usual fuel tank allowance, so they can't fill up and go to the end if they have an incident. If you obviously have a meatball flag and have damage that's irreparable, then you are allowed to come into the pits and then go as long as you can, but the 75% limit means that people can't benefit from an incident in the opening laps. Both the Wave Racing Tech cars going well. They've gained 3 places apiece at the start of this race, but Grassetto, he's not having an easy time with Jack Reeve, is he? He's all over him.
Yeah, let's see. Reeve, outside line. He's going to go deep into the corner. Is Grassetto going to have enough room on the inside? Yes, he will. Will he have enough traction on the exit? Not too sure. Reeve's got a good run, as he will again have the inside line at turn 2. Grassetto going much wider. Look at that. He could fit half a car park between those two cars as they make their way into his turn 2, but it's still going to work for Jack Reeve, or is it? Back up the inside comes Grassetto, and again, this is what's so great about these cars. You can just go corner after corner, side by side, and they're still side by side up towards turn 4. Surely this is where it ends. It will be indeed. Reeve gets ahead on the inside line. Grassetto has to swap behind, but careful. Behind comes Aberdeen, and he looks for a move. And if he gets it wrong, Zemstra's there to pick up the pieces as well.
And Hoyland's going for the lead. Hoyland down the inside into the chicane, and he's taking it. The Wave Racing Tech driver gets ahead of Fretwell. Little style slide on the exit as well. Great racing between Reeve and Fabio Grassetto there, though. Two of the feistiest drivers in the league, and they were really on it. But great respect, they gave each other just enough room at every opportunity. That was a fantastic bit of driving to watch, though. Lovely battle that really highlights what this is all about.
In all of that as well, Marteau's fallen behind Sam Fitzpatrick. Inside line, bit of a dive that is from Smith on Zemstra in towards turn 12. Is he going to get that done in the background? They appear into shot. I think Zemstra's got the inside line, should be able to keep that one under control. And look at that up the inside. Oh, very close for Sam Fitzpatrick. Nearly running into the back of Smith, and if there was contact, Smith would have been going around. There's absolutely no question about that. Marteau just in behind as well, and then you've got Jack Werrell really bunch at the front. 3 seconds between 10 drivers after 3 laps of this race. Crazy. That's
brilliant. It's just what the Hungaroring is all about as well. Aaron Smith looking down the inside. Sam Fitzpatrick goes late on the brakes as a result. He wants to have a look. He's nibbled enough off the back of that car in the previous race. He wants to try again. It's side by side for the lead again as well. Fretwell trying it back on Hoyland. Reeve and Grassetto still side by side as well. 2 by 2 they go. Oh, these guys are closer than the front two. Hoyland's about to hold on to it, or is he? Fretwell's back down the inside. Alex goes for the lead again. Sorry, Sebastian Vettel goes for the lead again as they head up towards turn 4. It's car 44. Can you believe that? It's Vettel against car 44. How many times have we seen that? Vettel around the outside, and he's going to manage it, surely. But look at this. All of a sudden, the rest of the field are involved now, and they're coming in for the lead. Zemstra's around, and so is Aaron Smith. Oh, Zemstra's missing a side pod. Fitzpatrick goes through and benefits. Oh my goodness me, this has changed as well. Hoyland losing a lot of time. Oh, there's contact between the teammates, and Reeve and Hoyland are both off and in the wall. Oh my God. What was that about? Zemstra's got damage. He's trying to drag the car back. He's in the middle of the road though. I think he was just letting the other guys through, in fairness. But what on earth was that about? Stuart Clark getting held up there now as Kevin tries to get out of the way. Let's have a look at this then. that's Reeve already in the barrier. So this is what happened to Aaron Smith. I hope he doesn't have contact with Fitzpatrick, but is he going to tap the back of Zemstra? He goes down the inside and he's lost it. Yeah. He's gone down the inside and he's lost the back of the car. It's out of control on the way in. He's just overdone it. Look, that's a big shame. Aaron felt the need to go down the inside and give it a go, but clips Kevin, and he was going wide at all points. And then in front, so what happened to Hoyland then? So Hoyland gets overtaken by Fretwell. He's just on a compromised line. He's got his teammate Fabio Grassetto behind him. Grassetto thinks it's a good idea to go down the inside. He just hits the back of him. Reeves got nowhere to go. Good God.
I think Grassetto's point of view there might be quite good. Because I think he'll be able to see... Yeah, he can see everything happening in front of him. He's got the two leaders fighting side by side. Nearly goes into the back of Reeve in towards 6. Then all of a sudden he gets that really good exit. You can't. You can't send it there, can you?
No, he just doesn't slow down.
On your teammate as well for second.
Yeah, I'd love
to be a happy family.
I'd love to say that's the first time they've come together this season. It's not. It's not, unfortunately. Look at that save by Jack Reeve. All of that in vain. He's really unfortunate in that because Matt's car reacts horribly to the initial contact, and then Grassetto, I mean, he didn't exactly have the most friends after the first couple of rounds, did Grassetto? He was known as being a bit sendy. Zemstra has then had a drama later on in the lap here. He was on his way back to the pits, but no, it's not behaved, so he's jumped back to the pits, and that's that. Wow.
It was one corner though.
Yeah, something must have been very broken.
Well, it must have been. Probably couldn't turn right. Left, sorry.
Yeah, true.
But that put him a long way down. Well, realistically, out of contention for anything other than P19, isn't really, unless something horrendous goes on to the others in front. Sam Fitzpatrick there, fastest lap of the race from P4. He's looking to close in on Aberdeen, who's passing Grassetto for P2. There's contact. Grassetto down the inside at turn number 2. Can Aberdeen hook it around the outside? Careful, because the car on the inside is slipping and sliding its way through. Aberdeen inside line for turn 3, but that hasn't helped out too much so far. There's little bits of contact. They're hugging the tyres with each other. Grassetto will have the inside line and the overlap. Should be able to get this one done. And will. Aberdeen very bold with an up and under at 4. Look at them bunching up behind. Marteau trying to get involved at the back of this as well. And now they're all tripping over each other. Marteau, is he going to send it around the outside? We've seen it work. Well, actually, have we? No, we haven't.
No.
And have to sit and wait behind. I thought we had, and then realised, oh no, that ended in a crash. So he's going to sit behind and wait.
Wow.
All of this for second, though. They're allowing Fretwell to get away with it.
Yeah, Fretwell will be loving this. He'll be absolutely laughing all the way to the bank. But good God, I've never seen, just like you said then, I've never seen anybody try a cutback at turn 4 at the Hungaroring. It's one of the most
behind them as well.
Yeah, one of the most ridiculous moves I've ever seen. But he tried it. They've had a bit of contact here and there. I think a bit of red mist coming in there from those two. But they're very feisty drivers, Aberdeen and Grassetto. I know that Fabio doesn't want to give an inch at all. He's got that Italian flamboyance about him in that lovely Wave Racing Tech car. But again, it's two drivers that are very quick that have both just sort of had the wrath of the stewards against them for a number of occasions this season. So I hope that they behave themselves and forget about that. Kevin Zemstra, unfortunately, still sat in the pits, as we see there. We're just looking then at John Tusting, who's got Philip Miles and Ben Chalcraft either side. Both of the Hikawa racing cars have gained 5 places so far in this race, and they are on for championship points. Philip Miles got his first championship points at Hockenheim last time, 10th in the first race, 10th in the second race. What a night he had. We are hoping that Simon Price can get his first points of the season as well. He's currently running in 15th place for 1 championship point. Long way to go, about half an hour left of this race, so we'll have to wait and see. I think he got a penalty for speeding in the pits or something last time out, which put him down the order. But now he's just got to basically crack on with his own race, and I think there's a number of drivers here that have to do that, don't they? They have to stop worrying about everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to not worry about anybody else when you're in trains like this, isn't it, right? But the aim is just trying to forget that anyone else is on the circuit. Marteau, a bit wide there. He's not been able to do too much, really, after lap 1 in making moves. Yes, we're only about 12 minutes into this race. but he hasn't had too many looks. Is it conservation for him? Is it just a case of not wanting to throw it away too early, or is there a bit of a problem with the ability that he can make some of these moves stick? Only time will tell, but a long way to go, and he's fast enough to be able to be in these positions where he's right behind the car in front till the end of the race. And I mean, even with all the battling that they're doing, they're not losing that much time to Alex Fretwell at the moment, are they? Let's see, as they cross the line, Sebastian Vettel crosses the line 40.6, and Grosseto only a couple of tenths back. So they're keeping it close. Oh, here's Marto behind. Is he going for this end? Oh, he thought about it. It's just not late enough on the brakes to really make it work.
No, I think Marto's doing what he did at Zandvoort here, where he's sitting behind a battle, and he's going to pit after these guys. He's saving a bit of fuel. He's saving enough to pit a lap later than most of them. He's ended up down the inside of Sam Fitzpatrick by accident there, funnily enough, as they go side by side through 3. Nearly a bit of contact there, actually. Marto didn't want to give him all the room in the world. Conor Hatfield is off the road in the Spontex car. That means that Simon Price and Danny Weir both benefit. Danny Weir now moving up into a points-paying position. He's got 3 so far this season as Danny. He's another driver that we've both commentated on quite a lot, actually, over in the what is now the ISR community.
SRI.
SRI,
yes.
yeah. I'm going to get that wrong for a long time.
It's been drummed into me. I keep calling it ESR. So I spent so much money on that jar that I sat there for 20 minutes and just said SRI over and over again. And as this is CDM, thankfully it's on the screen, I can't get that wrong, and also it's your name, so it's helpful as well. Otherwise, I'd be in a world of trouble. Too many acronyms these days.
I mean,
anyway,
just to digress slightly, even further actually, the amount of times I've done a video intro for YouTube and said welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and said my own name wrong is very embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of outtakes.
There needs to be a supercut of that.
There probably will be at one point.
Chalcroft's behind Tusting at the moment. Tusting's in a great place for the car. If they could both get through on Miles and Chalcroft could get through on Tusting, then we'd have the number 8 and the number 9 in 8th and 9th, but we're a little ways off that for the time being. That would be nice.
Hopefully Philip Miles doesn't fall to 26th.
A little bit more difficult to get Jack Reeve to 2nd, though, from where he is, so we'll have to wait on that one a little bit. Stranger things have happened at sea, though, you never know.
You know.
Kenya's coming out of the pit lane, he's made his stop. They should be able to get to the end from here, right?
Yes, yeah, basically with the 75% fuel limit, the cars can do about half an hour, so they should be able to get to the end from there. It's just that we put an 8-lap limit on it just so that people are, at least a third of the race has gone before people are pitting, because I think in real life it's rare to see somebody do a 40-minute race and just think, oh yeah, mandatory start, we'll get it out of the way on lap 1, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And it also guarantees that there's not exactly clean air for you to go into, because for 8 laps, I mean, the field is separated by nearly a minute now. The field that haven't pitted was separated by about 30 seconds. So if you're at the front trying to benefit from clean air, even in the middle, it's likely that you will not come out in clean air. So there's no guarantee of any of that. And I think that's one of the things. People were pitting on lap 1 with the guarantee there would be clean air further back for them to race in for the entirety of the sort of remaining 33 or 35 minutes or so. So now that it's more of a lottery, which is part of racing. Sam Fitzpatrick into the pits.
Yeah, so he's come in from that leading group, isn't he? So this is going to be interesting to see what this strategy does for him. Of course, he may have to spend a little bit more time stopped in the box, but he will be, you'd think, in a little bit more clean air, which could help him out. The issue could be if he comes out just behind the likes of Hatfield and Weir, but he's avoiding whatever the hell this battle is at the moment into turn 2. Grosseto inside, Aberdeen outside. They're not really going to be able to fight that through 3, but Marto may have a good run towards 4 on the Australian of Aberdeen. But it's not really going to materialise into any kind of move-making position up in towards the fast flicked left, and they will continue on their way. Fitzpatrick is right behind Price. That could be damaging for him. If he's going to try and make this undercut work, he's going to have to get through very, very quickly.
The thing is as well with Simon is he's such a lovely bloke, he'll probably just move out of Sam's way. He knows Sam very well, he knows his capability. Sam's giving him a signal as well, almost as if Simon's lapped traffic. I'm not sure if that's courteous or disrespectful, but he's right up behind the Team Verde car now. Simon may fight his ground, and he's within his right to. He's going to go through the chicane, and yes, this is the sort of part of the circuit where a pace difference will really hinder Sam Fitzpatrick, especially around here. He's got a great run, though, back down the inside. Simon runs a little bit deep. Sam's going to have to go the long way around here, though, through the right-hander, and he's still having to work for it. Gets the job done. But, yeah, Simon didn't make it easy. Fretwell into the pits. Grassetto, the only one from that lead group, carrying on. That's interesting, because he was at the front of it.
Was. Yeah, weird how this is going to pan out now as he now takes the lead. I mean, the problem for Grassetto is he's been fighting for P2 pretty much all race long, and after a pit stop may find himself 5th by a little way, so that could be an issue for him. Werrell going quickly towards the end of his stint. That's his fastest lap of the race. He is now promoted to P3, albeit momentarily. Tusting, Whitehouse, Clark, they all go through before we see Fretwell come out of the pit lane. Now, where is Sam Fitzpatrick? There he is. You can see him in that yellow and white car in the background. Aberdeen comes out, Marteau comes out, they're getting up to speed. Where's Fitzpatrick in all of this? Let's see, in towards turn 1. He's going to be behind Marteau, but those tyres are more up to temperature. Is that going to help? I'm not sure. He's a long, long way back, isn't he?
Yeah, it's really spread them out, actually, that little pit stoppers. Oh, no, Grassetto. He's had a slowdown penalty. Oh, that's going to ruin his idea of overcutting these guys here and running a little bit longer. He's going to have to try and serve that gradually as this goes on. That's what the yellow flag means. Tusting and Clark are close together here, side by side as they go up the hill. These guys haven't pitted yet. Just to show you all the pit stops on the left-hand side. The top 6 cars on your screen have not pitted. Simon Price, Danny Weir and Connor Hatfield also not pitting. It's just that the field was that spread out that they'd lost a bit of ground, and with the pit stops working out as they have, some drivers have still managed to come out ahead of them. But Grassetto has served his slowdown. I expect now, Dara, he'll be coming into the pits.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, well, I mean, he's nearly in the pit lane anyway with that lap over stiff 13. So, I mean, he might as well, right? In towards the pit lane he comes.
Wow.
Pit lane entry. Ooh, well, if you do it like that. We'll see him slow down. Oh, well, I thought we were going to see him slow down, and then he had other ideas for a moment there. But he's in the pit lane now. Let's see where he comes out. Tusting will come in as well. Smith, Werrell and Whitehouse all go through. Which means that we still have a few to keep an eye on. Clark as well goes around, so they're going nearly to half distances. I mean, you'd expect they'd be able to do, right? Because they're hoping to go more than half the race in the second stint. Clark is going to fight with Whitehouse until turn 1, though. Inside line for Stuart Clark, and again, very tight line compared to the car on the outside. But there's no real reply that Whitehouse can throw at him. There's Grassetto, defence from Aberdeen.
Wow.
He's going to be... Oh, no, that's Fretwell defending from Grassetto, mind you.
Wow, Grassetto's gained loads of time. Look at that. How... What? That has worked wonders for Fabio Grassetto. He is now 2.5 seconds clear of Lee Aberdeen and Thiago Marteau. That's brilliant. Very well done to the Italian. I'm absolutely bewildered. That has worked so well. I can't figure out in my head how that has worked.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I mean... No, I can't even try.
I can tell you how it's worked, actually. He and Fretwell both only pitted for about 5.5 seconds, whereas the rest of them pitted for 7, so they haven't taken tyres. That's the difference. Fretwell and Grassetto haven't taken tyres, as Danny Weir has hit the wall. Manages to recover. But yeah, no tyres on Grassetto or Fretwell. I mean, the tyres are on, obviously, but they're old tyres now, so the guys behind may have more pace, as Aberdeen and Marteau scrap away, 2 of the quickest drivers in the series. 2 lovely looking cars of very different, what would you say, different tastes.
Yeah, yeah, I think you've nailed it. I don't quite know what to add to that. I'm going to move on.
I love the honesty.
We've done half the race. We've got 20 minutes to go. Whitehouse has come in. That is a fleur-de-lis, isn't it, on the front of the car? Am I going crazy?
It is, yes. Yes.
Yes, it is. There we go.
And a massive one on the side of it as well.
As is the logo for the New Orleans Saints. They're not doing too well at the moment. Whitehouse is bringing up the reputation of the fleur-de-lis. He's going to drop down the order, of course, being in the pit lane. We still have Smith, Werrell and Clark to come in, and they have gone more than halfway through the race, but it means that they're going to have relatively short pit stops, especially if they don't take tyres like we've seen from Grassetto. I mean, Marteau and Aberdeen haven't gained too much, though, have they? This is probably why, because I was going to say Marteau, he wasn't ahead of Aberdeen beforehand. This is how he did it. Slipstream, inside line. Well, this is going to be a textbook as it comes, really, isn't it?
Yeah, nice and easy down the inside. Lee Aberdeen leaves him all the room in the world just to get it done cleanly. Clever stuff that by Lee, because it means that they've not lost too much time in the long run. They have still had their fight. Speaking of their fight, Whitehouse has done his pit stop and he's injected himself right between the two Hikawa cars. He's done John Tusting simulator. And now he is right between these pairs. Tusting, unfortunately, after his pit stop, has dropped down a couple of places. He's now in 14th position. But Simon Price still yet to pit. He's running on quite far as well. We've just missed that, unfortunately, because the lead group has still come out in front of him, which it means it hasn't promoted Simon as far as others. Seems like the DNA Motorsport tactic is to just carry on until the end. I mean, Werrell and his teammate David Whitehouse for Darrington Francis both have come in quite late, to say the least. As oh no, Philip Miles, he's got a slowdown penalty in front of Whitehouse and Chalcraft. It's all going on. Simon Price now into the pits as well. The only car not to have pitted is Aaron Smith, our race leader, as there was a moment there for Philip Miles. But Aaron, he's enjoying the clear track here, isn't he, at this point, Dara? He's just going to be putting in whatever laps he can on a lighter fuel load, because another thing I maybe forgot to mention is that the cars start with 50% fuel in the tank in the setup, and then they can fill up to 75 in the race. So even if they can't go as far, I mean, they can still do a lot of the race, as we've seen from the beginning. They can always fill up more than that. So even if they just fill up in the first few laps, it will always extend the range if they fill the car completely.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's.
I'm glad it did, because it didn't feel like it when I said it.
Probably why I saw so many people in early on. But yeah, Smith, he's doing well. I mean, that last lap, he was 7 tenths faster than Fretwell and Grosseto. Marteau went fastest of anybody at a 39.9, which was a second and a half faster than Grosseto. And he's already immediately on the back of the number 60. We've got about 60 minutes. Oh, we've had 25 minutes in the race. Where's the time gone? I'm not too sure. But Marteau really with 2 more cars to beat to get to the front of the field. This is that train for second then, or it is the net race lead. 5 cars in it, and Grosseto is having to defend already from Marteau. Marteau not going to make the move too quickly, and a little bit wide there from Fabio. Not going to cost him too much time, but as we see Adam Smith, who is Adam Smith? Aaron Smith into the pit lane. They will all be promoted, but where he comes out is going to be really interesting, because this is going to be a very short stop.
It is going to be a very, very short one indeed. They're side by side out of the final corner. Thiago Marteau in the bright fluoro yellow Kalita car, and Fabio Grosseto. It sounds like Aaron Smith has been overtaken well and truly. His earlier incident obviously costed him time. Marteau down the inside. Grosseto with a lovely cutback, very beautifully calculated. That was Italian flamboyance, wasn't it? Flipping heck, that was chef's kiss. He's come over on him a little bit there just to send the message into turn 2. Keogh's gone a little bit out of shape, nearly contact. I don't know how neither of them spun there, but all of a sudden Sam Smith, no, he's definitely not that one. We're just getting the Smiths wrong today, aren't we? We've got Sam Fitzpatrick now in 5th place, and hats off to Fretwell, because he started on reverse grid pole position, and he and his teammate Danny Weir are the only 2 drivers that are where they started in this race.
Which is unbelievable. I mean, the fact that we've gone through this far, and Alex Fretwell, despite all of the battling, all of the cars behind him, is sitting in the lead, is really impressive. I just worry that if he gets pushed offline here by Marteau coming through, he might have to end up waving all of them through, so he's got to be careful. But Marteau really is on it. Pole, 1 race 1. He's got 1 car to beat in 15 minutes to win race 2. It's looking like a good evening for him. But we will remain waiting to see if he can get this one done. He's already looking for it to the outside of turn 12. Fretwell going defensive. So you've got to be careful when you're going defensive in a train as long as this, because the second, like I said, you get offline, that could be the end of it for you. But he's on the inside racing line through 13. Grosseto may have a bit of a run on Marteau as well as they make their way into 14. Marteau with a difficult line through that final corner. But the top 5 are split by about a second, just about a second, and that's only going to close as they get onto the straight.
Look at them all over to the pit wall. Absolutely brilliant. All the way over to the right hand side. They start fanning out to the left as they try and get their way into turn 1 as cleanly as possible. We've got Marteau around the outside of Fretwell for the lead. He's going to go all the way around the outside at turn 1. What an incredible move by Thiago Marteau, but what else would you expect from the Williams Esports driver. Incredible stuff. Look at Lee Aberdeen sending it into turn 2. He tries the same thing. He's like, look, I can do it and all in this shiny car. Down the inside of Grosseto he goes again. Wheel-to-wheel contact with the two of them. Grosseto, well, he got away with it earlier. He doesn't get away with it this time. Sam Fitzpatrick now into this one too. Lee Aberdeen still side by side with him. Grosseto running wide, and there's a black flag for Grosseto, and that is going to only harm it even more, that wheel-to-wheel contact. Well, those incidents before have added up now, haven't they, Dara? That's put pay to his race.
Yeah, he can wave bye-bye to this train. Well, he will do very shortly. That's not going to be what he wanted at all, and he's had 27 minutes of really fun action. It's going to have another 12 of, I think, a little bit more dull, frustrated racing action towards the end of the race. Whitehouse in the back of Chalcraft. Chalcraft needs to gain one, not lose one, if he wants to be, the number 8 in P8. But it does look for the time being like David Whitehouse has got a nice bit of pace to him. They've got a bit of a gap back to Martin Kenyon, who's had a much better race in race 2 than he did in race 1. So I don't count him out for a top 10 finish in this race. But, I mean, it's crazy how you have a relatively condensed, even if you include Smith, top 6, and then such a big gap back to Clark, really 10 seconds between Werrell and Clark, and then it gets close again. Goodness me. Fabio top though. That's not the line, and that's just not it.
No, that's not it. This is how it all transpired then. So Marteau got in front of Fretwell. Fretwell moves out to the right-hand side. Grosseto, you can hear Lee Aberdeen. Look at the speed he carried into there. And then Grosseto gives him the room on the exit, turns in. There's not a whole lot of room. There's only a tiny tap, but I think it's the fact that he goes off the circuit as well. He gets the contact penalty point and also will get it for going off the road. And then as he goes through with Sam Fitzpatrick, that's what really shot the fox, unfortunately. But again, very lucky that he didn't get suspension damage from that. He's actually... Oh, he's quit. Oh, that's a big shame. That is a big shame from Fabio Grosseto. I would have hoped that he'd have continued on there, because even with just the drive-through, you would have been able to go to the end, and he probably would have still been in the points as well. Strange. I mean, frustration gets the better of drivers at the end of the day. We both know it, don't we, Dara? We've seen it a lot of times before in multiple series that we've both commentated and broadcasted.
Yeah, you can never escape it. I mean, if you're actually in the car, it's unlikely that they just climb out of it. But I guess if you're just at home and you've got, I don't know, a pack of biscuits just out of reach for you and you don't really want to carry on, you might jump out of the sim, right?
I mean, when I've got a pack of biscuits in range, I never get anything done.
I think that goes for all of us, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Hatfield's got a black flag. That's going to promote Jones up into the top 15. You'd think at least, or maybe it's going to be close. They'll be fighting over what should be the final points finish. Connor Hatfield, the sole American. The sun's still up where he is, but he's not going to be terribly happy about his points tally come the end of it. Michael Jones looking to... he will be looking to overtake, but we'll have to see how big that difference is in terms of the pit lane. Alex Fretwell looking to stay on the podium, but he's got a very fast Fitzpatrick right behind him. Which way is he going to go? He's going to keep that inside line. Oh, Fitzpatrick looked for it, but Fretwell was never going to give him the option. He's looked to go around the outside. That's not going to work out. Has to get the run to 4, you'd think, if he wants to have a go. If not, he's going to be waiting until 6 and 7 at least. Let's see. Outside line at turn 4. I think we've seen this work once. Is it going to be a second time? No.
Hey, but he's gone for the cutback. Lee Aberdeen tried that earlier on. I've never seen that move before, and now we've seen it twice in one race. Brilliant, brilliant stuff, but just doesn't quite work for him. Fretwell gives him just enough room up to the chicane. I think Sam knows that he needs to be careful here. Fretwell is fighting for his life for this podium, but Fitzpatrick gets down the inside, and he's gotten through, but Fretwell still sticks his nose back with him. Oh, he's just done it now with Sam. Great fighting, though, by the two of them. Lovely, lovely racing. Michael Jones has just gotten in front of Connor Hatfield. You said it'd be close, Dara.
Yeah, I didn't want to think it'd be that close, but I'm glad I called it. They're a full minute off the lead, but they are fighting over the final point. You'd think Danny was a bit too far back to get involved, but it is between Jones and Hatfield, and hopefully will be a bit of a battle towards the end, both with a lot to fight for. I mean, in theory, because of course you want to leave with something, even if it's just a 1 point. You want to have something next to your name after 40 minutes worth of racing.
Well, just to interrupt as well, it would mean that it would be Michael's first point of the season, but also his teammate Simon Price's first point of the season. Team Verde, 0 points up till tonight, and they could suddenly have both drivers scoring. Oh, Michael just needs to keep it in check. I tell you who's having a belter of a race is actually, surprisingly, with no disrespect to him, Martin Kenyon. Up 11 spots in this race, and so too Stuart Clark as well, the two drivers who came together earlier. Both having absolute corkers.
Yeah, they're having good races. Oh, hello, inside line. Is that going to be Ascend? Looks like it's going to be from Ben Chalcraft. Inside line, and the 8 is going to be out of P8 and up into P7. Clark's just behind Whitehouse, gaining time again, moving forward at the moment. Tusting and Kenyon, oh, they went side by side. There was contact, there was smoke. Tusting is through. We'll have a look at that one again. Towards turn 1, is it a bit of Ascend from Tusting? He races for Mirage Sports, and, well, let's see. As we work our way through turn 1. Oh, no, it was a Mirage. There wasn't any contact.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, nicely saved that by Martin. It's very easy to lose this car, and I'm sure with how good a race he's had, gaining 10 spots, he won't mind losing that one to John Tusting. Still 8 minutes left to go, and it's Kyo Thiago Marteau leading this race. He is on his way to become the first driver ever to win both races in one night in Formula CDM in his second ever appearance. But when you have a driver with 7,000 I rating that races for Williams Esports, you can expect performances like this. But like I say, he has been an absolute star to have. Lee Aberdeen is keeping him honest though. Lee's just gone a bit quicker than him actually, a tenth and a bit faster on that previous lap with his personal best. Lee is having a really good run of form at the moment actually. He had a horrible time at Zolder with a 17th and a 16th. And in every other race except for, well, I mean the Zandvoort feature race he was 15th, so only got 1 point there. But he's had 2 podiums at Hockenheim and a second place in the sprint race at Zandvoort. So aside from that 15th, he's been back on the point scoring game and certainly bolstering more in terms of his championship effort. But there's a lot of drivers having, I think, their personal bests tonight. I mean, Jack Werrell currently running in 6th place. Just having a look at the championship standings. Yeah, his best before this is 8th. Stuart Clark, his best is a 9th before this. He's currently running in 8th. David Whitehouse hasn't finished better than 10th all season. He's currently running in 9th. What about Tusting? Tusting's had a couple of 8ths and 9ths as well, so they're doing all right. Ben Chalcraft, this will be his equal. No, it won't be his equal best result. He got a 4th place at Manicourt, did Chalcraft. But he's certainly had to work hard, hasn't he, in this second race after the issues earlier on.
Yeah, and he's working his way through nicely. It's been a good comeback from the opening race from Ben after starting right towards the back, and from Stuart Clark as well, really. They started 15th and 17th, now find themselves 7th and 8th. Even Martin Kenyon starting in 21st, up to 11th as well. Good points, really, from them, from the positions that they started in. And, you know, for David Whitehouse, this is going to be the best result for the Whitehouse all day long, if they can get P9. So, yeah, it's going to be good if he can maybe even get past Clark towards the end of this session. They've been running it close all the way through, and it's been good pace from David in the last few laps. 6 tenths faster than Stuart last time by, but they haven't been able to close in on Ben. He's been gaining well. I mean, he's got similar pace to even Alex Fretwell, who's running in P4, of course. So it's been, well, P5.
He was.
Yeah,
you couldn't make that up.
Should I? Yeah. Smith then. Well, he's only going to get back through. There you go.
Oh,
sorry, Alex. That's my fault.
Oh, you could not have made that up. That was insane. But you know what, I think, looking at Fretwell's results this season, he's had another up and down one. He had a 4th place in the feature race at Zolder after the large incident that we had in that race. He was one of the drivers that benefited from it, and he is currently on for some strong championship points. Finishing in 5th place in the feature gets you 15 championship points, which is the same as winning the sprint race. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? You can really benefit by keeping your cards close to your chest and then keeping your nose clean in this second race of the night.
Yeah, no one minds a bit of sandbagging, really, do they?
No.
Especially if it gets you some more points. But yeah, it's been a good evening for a few of these guys, especially on this second race. And it just goes to show qualifying is important, of course, puts you in a good position for the sprint race. But if you do well on the sprint race, you're still going to have to work your way through. So in that aspect, qualifying can be a little bit diminished in its role, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's not necessarily the be-all and end-all.
It has been something that's been fed back by drivers, I must say.
Yeah, but it means that you have to do both. You have to be fast in qualifying to get points in the sprint, but also be able to show some racecraft. You can't just have it easy from the front, which is always, I think, a great way to mark a champion out of a series like this. Marteau, fastest lap of the race. Jack Reeve, oh my goodness me, right into the rear end of Martin Kenyon. That's a really good view. Not sure if Martin would want us to have that good of a view of the back of his car, but around the outside goes Jack Reeve. Can he keep his foot in? Can he make sure that he gets the move? Yes, he does. He'll have that move done by the time they get to the final corner, and he'll look to try and fend him off with the slipstream towards turn 1, and that is now P11. Can he gain an extra couple of spots? They've got, I think, 3 laps to do it.
Yeah, he's had a bit of an upside-down race as Jack Reeve after the contact earlier on with Matt Hoyland. Hoyland and Grassetto, his team, the 2 Wave Racing Tech teammates, out of this race. But Reeve has just shown, even with the massive incident he had earlier on, you still get the fast repair, you still crack on, and he's back in a point-scoring position right now. He's in 11th, which will give him 5 championship points. That's equivalent to 6th in the sprint race. So, it just shows you shouldn't give up, really. But to be fair, we've seen from Crimson in the chat, she's rightly pointed out, you could pit mad or you could drive mad. Sometimes pitting is the wise choice. And she's got a very good point, to be honest. And I think that may be why Grassetto, Hoyland, Zemstra, they've decided that their race was done at that point. But this guy's race isn't done yet, is it? 2 minutes 45 left to go. And Thiago Marto has been a superstar once again tonight.
He has, and he's going to be setting lap times later and later in qualifying if he keeps this up, isn't he? With himself moving up that points tally, but he's just pulling away now from the rest.
Another fastest lap.
Fastest of the race, yeah. And then another full second clear of Aberdeen, who himself isn't going slowly. And look at Fitzpatrick's time as well when he crosses the line, still 8 tenths behind. Smith going quickly.
Yeah.
That's the second fastest time that we've seen of anybody. And of course, he pitted right at the end of the window, didn't he? He was the last one to come into the box. So him going faster now, maybe a symptom of that. Looks like Cap could be P3, but from where he started, where he came in from after the opening stint, this would be a great position to get him, result to get himself into a podium position. Yeah, definitely. After the drama earlier on in the race with Kevin Zemstra, that contact that they had, it certainly is looking quite promising for this race. He was in the pits for a second less than Sam Fitzpatrick, and he pitted 5 laps later than him. Now, a second doesn't sound like a lot less in a pit stop, but when the pit stop's only 7.8 seconds to begin with, it is quite the chunk of time. And now he's gotten into the slipstream of Sam Fitzpatrick, and he's got 5-lap younger tyres. He's going to be all over the back of that Flaxon Sport car with just 1 lap to go for the podium spot. Obviously, we have to think about the fact that there will be, obviously, incident reviews and things. All results that we see are provisional. We've got a great scrap going on here between Clark, Whitehouse and Tusting for the final positions inside the top 10. Tusting going really well in these cars. I remember when John first started racing in my leagues, he wasn't very confident, and he struggled a bit with the car, and he was one of the drivers that was very self-depreciating with the humour in the in the Discord. But look at him now. He's absolutely thriving in this Mirage Sport car, and another fastest lap by Thiago Marto. Yeah, and he's getting. I mean, that I think was 9 thousandths faster than his last fastest lap.
Right.
It's still going to go purple. No, but it just shows that he can just keep putting the lap times in, and the tyre wear isn't affecting him. If anything, the ever so slightly lighter car is going to help him out. Move with Fitzpatrick back on Smith. Smith tried to get it done. There's contact with the wheels. There's any more contact with the wheels. Smith will have the inside line just about into turn 2. He's going to squeeze it down the inside. No. That rear end goes. Careful. They just about managed to avoid contact. Do they? No, they don't.
No.
Oh, no, they don't at all. And Fitzpatrick, black flag from the contact. And it's only really going to cost him 5th, but not what he needed at all. And that was a really dramatic little battle in the final couple of laps. Yeah, final lap, in fact. Again, it didn't need to happen. There was a bit of contact. I mean, it's a big send by Aaron. He's gone well too hot into there, and Fitzpatrick's got back underneath him. Sam stays over to the left, though, where you'd expect to go right. There's another bit of contact there. And I think they're both trying to prove a point here, and it does look like tempers flared, doesn't it? That touch there, and then bang, that's the one that really throws Sam around. And unfortunately, well, that's going to get looked at, isn't it, afterwards. Sam will be a bit fuming with that one, to say the least. But one guy that won't be fuming will be the driver that's just about to take his 2nd win of the night and become the first driver ever in the Formula CDM European Series to take both wins on the night. Put your hands together for Thiago Marto. The Dutchman takes 2 from 2 here at the Hungaroring in a blinding performance. Lee Aberdeen finishes off a brilliant evening. Lots of points scored for him in 2nd place. Aaron Smith will finish in 3rd position. Another podium for the championship leader ahead of Sam Fitzpatrick. Alex Fretwell
will finish next up in 5th, and a great drive by Alex. Oh no, Tusting has got a black flag, so too has Jack Reeve. There's been some drama. There's been drama at the end of the lap. What is this about? Oh no.
In towards 12. I mean, Kenyon, believe it, he's going to get into P9 at the end of this race.
Oh, Jack, what are you doing, Jack?
Oh.
I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to get underneath him, but what the hell? You can't do it when there's a car there. And Kenyon has indeed finished 10th.
There you go.
Wow. Martin Kenyon, great job. Great job indeed. Jack Werrell 6th, Chalcraft 7th, Whitehouse 8th, Stuart Clark 9th. And Jack Reeve, he'll be feeling a bit silly after that one, to say the least. A few more cars still to finish. Got Philip Miles next up. Oh, Simon Price, by the way, his first championship points. Well done, Simon. 3 championship points go his way. We caught the end of him weaving there. He'll be buzzing. Philip Miles, more championship points for him. That's his second week on the bouncer. He's got points. Connor Hatfield eventually finishes in 15th and scores the final point. Michael Jones, unfortunately, just misses out on the championship points come the flag, but still a great effort all the same. And Danny Weir, the final car to cross the line. But what can you say about Kyo Tiago Marto there, Dara? An absolute domination of tonight's proceedings. And the thing is as well, his run back through the order was clean and respectful too.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything or any point where he sent the move that he probably shouldn't have done. It was all clean, it was all composed. The only real disappointment is he didn't set another fast lap on that final lap. So, I mean, apart from that, it's been an absolutely perfect night for him. That pole, that win, and then again, to be able to then work your way through, which no one else has been able to do so far this season, from 10th to 1st in the feature, really does show that he's a benchmark. And if he's here for every single race at some point, it's going to be a difficult man to beat.
He absolutely will be. But you know what? He's been putting in a performance worthy of those championship points, to say the least. Let's have a look then at the feature race results here from the Hungaroring. We have Kyo Tiago Marto taking the win and 30 championship points home, a maximum score tonight. Lee Aberdeen in 2nd place ahead of Aaron Smith in 3rd. Alex Fretwell in 4th ahead of Jack Werrell with a top 5. Very well done to Jack. Next up, it was Ben Chalcraft and David Whitehouse. Sam Fitzpatrick eventually classified 8th ahead of Stuart Clark and Martin Kenyon. Simon Price is moved up to 11th with the black flags ahead of him. With that means now Philip Miles 12th, Connor Hatfield 13th, Jack Reeve 14th, John Tusting 15th. Unfortunately for Michael Jones, it means that he was only 2 seconds off of the points instead of 7. So heartbreaking stuff for Michael Jones. Danny Weir, the final car to finish. The non-finishers, both Wave Racing Tech cars, Kevin Zemstra and Victor Oliveira. Well, I tell you, Dara, you've had a busy one tonight, mate. It's certainly been a busy round of the championship to keep an eye on. What have you made of it?
Good, isn't it? It's nice when, like I said earlier, these kinds of cars, really any circuit, but particularly a circuit where it's a little bit tighter and a little bit twistier, are always great because they can run side by side, corner after corner, at corners you wouldn't necessarily associate with racing, but yet they make it work. And we've seen all of it tonight. Great qualifying session with drivers working up towards the end. Sprint race frantic all the way through. That feature race ebbs and flows. It really had it all tonight.
It absolutely did, and we've got a few drivers waiting for interview. The first one of which I want to speak to is a great mate of mine, Simon Price. Simon, we caught the end of a bit of weaving there as you crossed the line, but your first championship points in the Formula CDM European Series. You must be buzzing.
It could have come a bit sooner, but yeah. I seem to do this every season I'm in of your races. I just leave it until right near the end to start getting traction.
What was it like tonight then out there? Because it certainly looked tricky around this circuit.
I really enjoyed that. I really like the circuit. It's just a place that I feel like I could just churn out laps.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not the fastest laps, but yeah, I just feel like I'm putting consistent sort of performances there.
Well, you've actually been promoted as well to P11 after the penalties of the drivers ahead of you. So not only did you score the 3 championship points tonight, but you've actually ended up with 5. So nearly a double tally from black flags because of shenanigans ahead. So yeah, solid score. What do you make of the rest of the circuits that we're headed to then for the end of the season? Red Bull Ring and Imola.
Love Red Bull Ring. Had some of my best race results there, but given the competition here, it's going to be tough. What was the other one? Imola? Oh, God, Imola. I used to really enjoy that circuit, but I don't know what it is about it now. It just does my nut in.
It's a hard one to get a flow in, especially in a car like this with all the curbs, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not thinking about that one for a while yet.
Well, it's been fantastic to see it, mate. I won't lie, we always try not to have bias up here in the box, but I did sort of pump my fist a little bit in the air when you got those points, so congratulations. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just a shout out to my wife. She's going through some work stuff at the minute, and obviously I've been supporting her as best I can, but she's been a trooper. And just a shout out to yourselves. Obviously, the broadcasts are always so much fun to take part in, and everyone else on the grid for kind of mostly staying out my way tonight.
Well, send your best to the missus as well from us, Simon. Obviously, we hope all is well. And yeah, congratulations, mate. Go and enjoy the rest of your evening.
I do. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Simon Price there, absolute star. Honestly, one of the funniest people you will ever meet, Simon. He's so dry. He's always got an answer for everything. I absolutely adore the bloke. Met him a few times in real life through the wonderful tabletop game of Warhammer, actually. And yeah, what a fantastic bloke. Another one that we can speak to tonight is Mr. Fretwell, who just scored himself a 5th place finish on the road in that race, but actually 4th after the penalty for Fitzpatrick. Alex, you must be pretty buzzing after that, mate. We've spoken a few times when your night's not gone quite that well, but you've done all right here.
Yeah, didn't start out great. Managed to sort of pull something out of the bag in qualifying that I'd not done throughout practice, and got the first part of the chicane a little bit wrong, put me offline for the second part, and then just a little bit wide on the right on the exit, so no quali lap, which was a little bit disappointing because I'm not sure where it would put my practice time would put me. I think about sort of 6th-ish. So yeah, that would have been good, but equally, the sea sort of opened up in front of me on lap 1 of the sprint.
Yeah.
There were a couple of close moments through sort of 2 and 3 on that first lap, sort of 3 wide and front wings just sort of hanging in on the inside, so yeah, played it nice and cool, and then somehow I think with Ben's pit stop and a couple of cars coming together behind, I ended lap 1 with about 5 seconds in front of me and 5 seconds behind. So sort of locked in on Jack Worrell and gave me something to do for the rest of the race. Didn't quite get there, but either way, I sort of, if it had been for 10th, I'd have been a lot more unhappy. But obviously, put me in a good position for the feature, which started pretty well. I was a little bit surprised, sort of able to hang on that long. Obviously, we had the lap where me and Matt swapped positions, got it back, and Fabio was doing me a bit of a favour, I think, in that first stint, just keeping people back, and then. Pit stop wise, I mean, I changed tyres last week at Hockenheim and it didn't work because it took me out of the slipstream, so I didn't change tyres tonight, and I don't know whether that was the right thing or not tonight because it would have given Fabio a clear run. So yeah, again, that pack that, because I didn't change the tyres, I was somewhat near the front of it, gave me a few more laps of sticking it out in front, and then yeah, in the end they're just too quick over 40 minutes or whatever it is, so and obviously yeah, they're fighting for a championship, so sort of give it as hard as I dare, but not going to do anything stupid.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. But at the end of the day, still big championship points your way, so a good add to the tally for tonight. Probably moves you up a few places as well, because I know it was close between you, Schneebel and Reeve as well, and I think Reeve had a nightmare at the end of that race and dropped down a bit, so yeah, it's looking good into the final few rounds, mate. But is there anyone you'd like to give anyone a shout out?
Just yourself and Dara. Obviously, he's commentating on my GT3 exploits next week, so probably not going to be seeing any P4s there, but I have you on in the background. I don't have any friends, basically, for Wednesday nights.
Oh, bless you.
So I have you on in the background, so no need to watch it back, but something to listen to.
Well, we'll shout directly at you next week, mate. We'll let you know, but thank you as ever for jumping in, Alex, and we'll hopefully speak to you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Cheers. I want to give everyone full disclosure here. I messaged Dara during the first interview with Simon there, saying to Dara, would he like to take the next interview? And then I just autopiloted into talking. Who do you want, Dara? We've got a few drivers in there.
I cannot see that list, so you bring someone.
Oh, we've got Whitehouse, Fretwell, Chalcraft, Danny Weir, and Werrell.
Oh, goodness. Let's bring in David Whitehouse, because that's the special result of the season, isn't it?
I believe it is, yeah.
So, David, welcome in. Special result of the season, we think, right? P8. Come the end of the race. That was a tricky one towards the end. There were some good battles. Talk us through like the last 50 minutes or so.
Well, I've already said to the people in the chat that it's worth me putting a bucket underneath my seat to get the sweat after that one. That was a hard race throughout, but I didn't feel like I had any pace in the sprint, and then in the feature it just sort of all came together a little bit more. Maybe I was driving too hard, and then there's a collision with Jack, Reeve, and I think Grissetto was in it, and a few other people.
Yep.
And I was just like, right, this is a chance for us to score a top 10 if we can. Obviously, there's a few bigger names out, but I didn't expect to be safe. Not in a million years. And then I took a position on the final lap off Stuart Clark, and he was all over the back of me. And then I just looked in my mirrors. I think Jack Reeve pulled up.
Yeah.
John Tusting went flying towards Stuart, and I can't really say I didn't celebrate. I really didn't want them on my back end coming into them final two corners.
Yeah, I can't really blame you for that, can you really? But I mean, this is a difficult track. I mean, you said that you didn't necessarily expect the pace. Did you feel like you got more into a rhythm that second race? Is that why you feel like you were a bit more comfortable in the car?
It is one thing that I normally do. I get into a rhythm in the first stint, and then I'm like, well, I don't want to pit because I'll break that rhythm. So I end up going until my fuel runs out or a couple of laps before the end. And last time I came in early and I was like, it didn't really work because I'm not up. Even if people pit and come out in front of me, then I can follow them and keep up with their pace. Whereas if I'm fighting around with people that are around me, then you're not going to move anywhere. So yeah, I don't really know where the pace come. I think I just calmed down in the first race because you got more time to think about things.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I do the same thing. If I'm racing, I go as far as I can if I feel happy. Next week, Red Bull Ring. Doesn't really get much more different than this circuit. What are the expectations going into that? Are we improving P7 maybe? P6?
I'm probably going to be back just outside the top 10, I suspect, but then it's Red Bull Ring. It's one of them circuits which always produces great racing, and there's only 10 corners. 9 if you want to be not MotoGP.
Yeah.
So we it's one of those circuits which I do go well on. It's not an issue, but once you start fighting, you're not going to keep up with people in front. So we'll just have to see what happens. But I am looking forward to it. And then we've got Imola as well, which is too much of a stop-start circuit, so it'll be good fun.
Yeah, as am I, looking forward to it. Dave, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to in the broadcast?
Yeah, I'll obviously give a shout out to you both. Chaz knows that I know the commentary gigs aren't the easiest thing in the world, and everybody thinks they can talk through racing, and it doesn't always work out. So great to finally be part of a CDM championship. And I've got to say thanks to my wife, who's sitting over in the corner, who's put the kids to bed every single night I've been doing it. So yeah, thanks to her.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think you'd be in trouble if you didn't thank her. So, yeah. Thanks, David. Congratulations again, and good luck for next week.
Thank you.
There we go then. David Whitehouse, great to hear from him. Not heard from him for a while. Jack Reeve has apologised in the chat, I'm happy to say. He's apologised to John Tusting and a few others. But that is unfortunately the end of our night here, Dara. We're going to look at the theoretical points. I imagine there'll be a bit of shifting around and penalties and all sorts to be given, because it was quite the mayhem for that one. But theoretically, after tonight, this is how the championship points are looking, and it's Aaron Smith on 191 after that, with Fraser Smith 159. Lee Aberdeen had a really good night. Sam Fitzpatrick has still moved up those 2 spots ahead of Zemstra and Hoyland, who were both out of the second race. Keo Thiago Marteau, no surprise, he's up a few places as well. Reeve and Fretwell both actually dropping a spot. Fretwell, I thought, would have moved up one, but he's gotten ahead of Chalcraft tonight, I'm pretty sure. but I think with Marteau moving, he has dropped down. Still very close though, isn't it? I mean, even from like 6 downwards, all you need is one good night or one bad night, and it'll gain you a few places, won't it?
Yeah, it's nice when the championship's this close, and even for Marteau, he's 30 points behind Fitzpatrick, but if he keeps this up, I mean, he could get there in the final 2 rounds. So P4 probably his target, but yeah, you're right. There's so many tight gaps there, even down to the likes of Tustin, Kenyon, Clark. 3 points between those guys, and they're only 3 more points behind David Whitehouse. So a good night for them contributing up the order, as it has for Jack Werrell.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is unfortunately all we've got time for here tonight. Thank you once again, Dara. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you in the box, and we look forward to the last 2 rounds. What have you made of it, just briefly?
Oh, it's great. I love these kinds of... The second you said it's this kind of series, I was going to be all over it. Love this kind of racing. And it is an escape from the GT3s, which we all know so well. I've watched too many GT3 races at Sebring to know exactly how they're going to race.
Yeah.
It's nice to get this kind of... like nitty-gritty racing where if you have a little bit of contact, you could be dead in a wall in seconds. So, yeah, it's all a bit of fun. And, yeah, can't wait for next week.
Well, we certainly can't wait either, and we all hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you very much, Dara. Thank you to all the drivers, everybody involved in the championship that makes it what it is. And yeah, we'll see you in a week's time when we head to the Red Bull Ring. Have a good night.